It is episode 39 of the Carlos Whittaker podcast on Thursday, October 10th, 2024. We're going to be talking about intuition today. Got a question? Y'all ready for this? Come on. Hey. Welcome back to the Carlos Whittaker podcast. Hopefully you had a great week. A great week of fall. Fall's sneaking in. I need to let everybody know that I am wearing my hoodie right now. And I feel like fake fall is over. Do y'all have fake fall? Is fake fall something that you have to endure in the places that you live? Listen, I know y'all in like mountain towns and stuff like this, you're sad that summer is leaving. I am not. I am not sad summer is leaving. I am grateful that I'm wearing a hoodie. I woke up this morning, it was like 56 degrees outside here in Nashville, Tennessee. The high's only 75 degrees. I'm like, if I could just live in this hoodie forever, I would. I am so happy that fall is here. Not only am I happy that fall is here, but I'm chasing fall. This week, I'm chasing fall. I'm heading to Greensboro, North Carolina tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be fall there. But then I am heading to Visalia, California. I don't think it's fall there either. So I'm not chasing it at the beginning. I guess all this to tell you, I'm heading to I'm flying into Bozeman, Montana, and I'm going to my friend Joe's ranch, and I'm going to be all fall. I'm going to be sipping my coffee outside. You're going to be able to see your breath, sit by a campfire in a hoodie. I don't need gloves yet because it's fall. Are y'all fall people? Is it just me? I love freaking fall. I am so pumped. I love fall because I don't know, it's like the end of suffering for me. Summer and spring, my allergies are just a freaking hot mess. It is like 120 degrees in Nashville and 100% humidity. It's just, I need it. I need the fall. I'm going to hop right in. Don't have a lot of time to chit chat today because I know you guys got things to do, people to see. My son's texting me. Sorry. You know, I always tell I've always told my kids and my wife, one of the things that I do on my phone is, you know, we've been talking, obviously I wrote a book about screens, and one of the things that I've done is I place my phone on permanent do not disturb. Permanent do not disturb. That means that I will never get a notification unless, because I don't know if you guys know this, you can actually set your phone up certain ways with do not disturb. Like you don't have to just shut off all notifications. So I will not get a buzz or a ding on my person. Nothing, my phone will not alert me, notify me. My phone will not notify me unless I'm looking at the screen of any of my notifications, right? So I haven't turned my notifications off. They still slide across my screen, but if I'm not looking at my screen, I will never know that they're there. First thing, go ahead. I mean, we'll just start there today. That's not what this podcast is about, but let me just tell you what I do and what this has to do with my son texting me. Then if my family texts me, I don't get it. Like I won't know. The only time that my phone will buzz or ding is if my family calls me. So I've set up my do not disturb to where if I get a phone call from my from a family member, it will buzz. And they know if you need me bad, call me. If you just if you just have a question that I don't need to answer right away, text me. But call me. And that's when the notifications come in. So all that to say, like this was a little interruption in my do not disturb. I'm looking at my laptop, and this is something else I need to fix. I haven't realized is that if my phone is on do not disturb, remember I said it won't ding me, but it still slides across my laptop screen when he texted me. And what that did is it took my attention off of what I was doing and onto that, which I don't want to do. Our souls and psyche were not created to exist in two places at one time. And right now, my soul and psyche was created to exist with you, and my son took it away when all he wanted was more time on a freaking video game on his phone. Wow. That was a lot. The science of intuition is what we're talking about today, and how screens have impacted our trust in our gut. Trust in our gut, okay? I mean, let's get to the concept of intuition. And honestly, how our modern reliance on screens has legitimately disconnected us from this ability that I think every single human being has. Like all of us have intuition. So why don't we start with this? Let's define it. I can look up what Webster's has to say, but let's do it this way. Intuition is the brain's automatic and unconscious processing of information, right? So it's like this complex process where my brain is drawing from like past knowledge, right? So like things I know, and maybe experiences to make a quick judgment without necessarily reasoning consciously. Does that make sense? There's a statement I want to say. This is good because if you go to my Dr. Amen YouTube video where I was on his show, he talks about the basal ganglia. Okay, remember? And he was talking about my basal ganglia and my brain scan was hyperactive. It was very bright in my brain scan. Again, read my book. You'll find out more about this. But intuitive decision making occurs in the basal ganglia. Okay, which is the part of your brain that processes large amounts of information without us even realizing it. So I think that we have lost our ability to trust our gut and to have intuition. And how do I know that's true? I mean, when's the last time you went to a new restaurant without checking Yelp or a Google review? Like, why in the world are we trusting Bob from Bismarck and his 2.5 stars at a Korean restaurant we wanted to go to, and that Bob from Bismarck's taste buds are now going to be the thing that decides whether or not we are going to eat this Korean food that looks good to us? Intuition is gone. Legitimately, intuition is gone. Yelp, killing it. Google Maps, killing it. Google reviews, killing it. Google. I keep saying Google. It's true. A 2016 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that professionals using their intuition in complex tasks, like ER doctors, okay, were 20% more likely to make correct decisions quickly compared to those who overanalyzed the situation. It is essential that we get back our intuition. Absolutely essential. Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise, filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk growing kids should never eat. That's why Hiya was created. The pediatrician-approved superpowered chewable vitamins. While most kids' vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a variety of health issues, Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk, yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters. Hiya is designed for kids 2 and up and sent straight to your door. So listen, y'all busy parents have one less thing you got to worry about. Hiya vitamins taste incredible, and I believe in them. I need to let you understand something really important. Our kids are not eating all the vitamins they need to eat. And so that's why Hiya is so important. It's so important to get our kids these things so that we can see them grow into the healthy adults we know that they can be. We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you got to go to hiyahealth.com/humanhope. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hiyahealth.com/humanhope to get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. I love my family's Aqua True water filtration system right next to our sink. The water legitimately tastes incredible. Who knew that water could taste good? And I think the reason why it tastes good is because it's clean. I'm not just drinking tap water anymore. I'm not just drinking water coming out of my fridge that I don't understand how it's being filtered. I can trust Aqua True, and my family trusts Aqua True. Aqua True purifiers use a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and their countertop purifiers work with no installation or plumbing. I didn't have to try to install this thing. No, it's just plugged in right next to my sink. Here's the kicker. It removes 15 times more contaminants than ordinary pitcher filters, and it's specifically designed to combat chemicals like PFAS in your water supply. They've got water purifiers to fit every type of home. You can have an installation-free countertop one like me, or you can get a super fancy one, like high-capacity ones that go under your sink. Long-term exposure to high concentrations of PFAS can potentially lead to adverse health effects like cancer, endocrine system disruption, or liver toxicity, which is why I'm glad that AquaTrue is there for us. Okay, just one set of filters from their classic purifier makes the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. That's less than 3 cents a bottle. Listen, I can truly taste the difference, and I know you can too. AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and makes an even greater gift. Today, my listeners get 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com and enter code HUMANHOPE at checkout. That's 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use promo code HUMANHOPE. How do we get that back, right? I mean, we'll go to my book. I got a whole chapter on intuition, right? I'm living with an Amish farmer. I'm living with Willis. And farmers have used intuition for weather predictions, right? Such as Willis did in my book. He relied on his gut to decide when to cut the hay. Now, if you've not heard this story, let me tell you. So I'm living with Willis on a sheep farm, and Willis is trying to figure out when to cut the hay. And I've like waited days and days to cut the freaking hay. I'm like, get me behind these horses on a plow and let me tractor and let me cut the hay. Let me rake the hay. Let me do something with the hay. He's like, if the grass is too wet, then the hay won't be good and it'll mold and we won't be able to use it. If it rains, we definitely can't use it. So we can't cut the hay the day it's going to rain. It's got to be super dry the day before and the day after in order for us to cut and roll the hay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was so complicated to freaking make hay. So we wait. And we wait. And I'll remember like the day before we're about to cut the hay, I mean, I've already been shearing sheep. I've already been cleaning poop. I've already been doing all the things, going to the horse auction, all the things, fixing things with Willis, vaccinating the sheep, all the things. And Willis had a way of checking the weather. I didn't. Remember, I didn't have a screen. So like I would walk outside and if it was hot, it was just hot. I didn't know how hot it was. Oh, I wonder if it's 92 degrees with 100% humidity. I didn't know that. I just knew it was hot. Maybe we're not supposed to know the degrees. You just walk outside, it's hot. Well, so it was hot one day and Willis is like, hey, I checked the weather. It doesn't look like it's going to rain the next 3 days. It's time to make the hay. I was like, yes. He's like, tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up. We're going to make the hay. So I wake up the next morning and thunderstorms, lightning all around us. You see like, how you can see rain far away, the clouds. Well, I'm like, well, crap. It's going to rain and we're not going to be able to make the hay again. So I take the slow walk back to to his house in the morning. I was like, well, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to cut the hay today. He's like, oh, look down at your boots. It's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'd like you to look down at your boots. And so I looked down at my boots. He's like, what are they covered in? And I was like, well, I don't know, grass. And they were like grass clippings. He's like, no, look again. And I was like, I don't know, they're wet. Because, sometimes when you walk in the grass in the morning, there's dew on it. And so I said, yeah, there's some water on there. He's like, if there's dew on your boots, it's not going to rain. And I was like, if I could have whispered back to him, because he kind of whispered it to me, if I could have whispered back, Willis, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Legitimately. What do you mean if there's dew on your boots, it's not going to rain? He's like, there's dew on our boots, it's not going to rain. I was like, Willis, I would like to present you with example A to the left. I'd like to bring this into the courtroom. That is a thunderstorm a mile away from us. You see the lightning? You hear it? You're going to ruin your hay. If there's dew on your boots, it's not going to rain. So listen, I was on my way to go meet Ed at his horse farm. And so, I go with Diane, I go with Kathy and Krista. And we head to the horse farm. And it's pouring rain, buckets of rain. Rains the whole time we're there, just dumping rain. Hours later, we're heading back. I'm like, Willis is a dummy. Listen, I know I've only been sheep farming for a few days, but I could have made a better decision than Willis. Like, bro, there's rain even on your weather app on your flip phone. He had a flip phone. We could talk about that later. So we're on our way back and we get to, I don't know, like a mile away from their farm. It's dumping rain. And I'm kind of looking at Kathy like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry that you've ruined your crop of hay. I didn't say that, but I just kind of felt bad. I don't know. We get a little bit closer to about a mile away from the farm, and I kid you not, it's actually in the documentary. You guys can watch it when it comes out. The ground was dry. Legitimately, there was not a single drop of rain that had fallen. We pull into his driveway, and Willis is kind of standing there with his arms crossed. He's like, there was dew on my boots. It's not going to rain. He was kind of smiling like, I told you so. He trusted his gut. And we don't do that anymore. I love that story in my book, Reconnected, because it just shows the power of trusting our God-given gut, what the Lord has given us. But our screens have destroyed our ability to trust our gut. These screens have destroyed our ability to use the intuition that the Lord has given us, you know? Just because you're using intuition doesn't mean that you're not using intelligence. Let me say that again. Just because you're using intuition does not mean you're not using intelligence, because intuition is using your experiences that have gone past and your learnings that you know in order to build into this moment of a decision where you can trust everything you've learned and everything you know. And that's called trust in your gut. You don't have to ask Google every single time. I mean, technology has provided us with an endless list of data, right? GPS, online reviews, now AI recommendations guide almost every single decision that we make. And our reliance on that external data has literally diminished our trust in our gut. Where to eat. I mean, I even have an app that tells me where to fish. Like, I have an app that shows me on a certain creek where the last person caught a fish. What movies to watch? Oh my gosh. It's gone. Our intuition is gone. You know, I mean, we're not getting political here. We're not getting political, but let me just tell you, we've all seen it. Studies show that easy access to information has made people more likely to look things up and to believe anything they read on the internet, right? Like anything they read on the internet. People are more likely to believe the opinions of strangers on the internet than their own experience. You know, anyone that has a camera on their phone, which is everyone, can sit in a car, make a 3-minute TikTok video, and post it, and suddenly that is fact. A story is fact. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have lived experiences, but what I'm saying is that we can't believe stories without knowing or seeing where the stories come from. So, we get it, right? Google, all of it, right? It freezes our ability to follow our instinct. More people are looking things up rather than trusting their memory. Our memory is suffering. How do we get it back? How do we rebuild trust in our intuition? Well, you know what I'm going to say because I wrote a book about it. Okay, so we'll call this Ways to Reconnect with Intuition. Okay, number 1, limit external inputs. Cut back on reading online reviews for decisions that you can gauge yourself. Rely on your senses and intuition more often. If something smells good, eat it. No more online reviews. No more. No more. Now, I'm not saying that for something that you don't know, you can't trust your gut. But what I am saying, you know, so like say you want to buy something really expensive on Amazon and you want to read some reviews in order to do it, that's fine. But you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to be like super, I'm I'm not trying to be, the dude that's like, 1000% do not trust do not trust reviews. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I am saying is that we can limit the amount of input we're getting from other people. And I think it's vital. I think it's absolutely vital for us to get back to the place where we trust our guts again. So the first thing I'd say is limit external inputs, right? Cut out the reviews. Simple. Number 2, engage in tech-free activities. Okay. Try getting lost without GPS. Like I recommend in the book, it rekindles your sense of direction and intuition about your surroundings. We don't do it anymore. Getting lost and finding our way is gone. GPS tells us, in 800, we were not supposed to know what 600 feet is. But now I know exactly what 600 feet is because freaking Siri tells me all the time. Solitude and quiet reflection, like those things can help us process emotions and past experiences. And I honestly believe that like they reawaken our gut. So let's reawaken our gut. Okay, I'm not talking about like your belly. I'm talking about your intuition, your gut. So like a way to do this is practicing small decisions, practicing making small decisions. But if you think about it today. How many decisions have you made based on a screen? I'll give an example. Okay. So I've taken Life 360 off my phone. I talk about that in my book because I don't want to know, how fast my kids are driving anymore. Like they're adults now. Like they can figure that out. But I do have Find My Friends. So it doesn't tell me their speed, but if I need to know where my mom is, if she's out driving, it gives me a little bit of a sense of control, which I talk about in the book, that I don't really need to have. And so like, I'm still working on possibly taking that off. But here's a kicker. This is something I did today. Today I saw that my mom wasn't at home. So I made a decision based on seeing that she was somewhere else on if I was going to go to the bank or not. And I think to myself, if I didn't know my mom was home, would I have made the same decision? Which then opened my mind to like, who would I have met? What decision did I make based on something that I wasn't able to just trust my gut with? What have I lost? Like, I know what I gained is I gained a little bit of efficiency. Okay, sweet. I got something done without, needing to be at my parents' house for certain, whatever. But what did I miss? What did I miss? If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data. Listen, ditch that busy work. I don't have time to be doing, especially if you're like a solopreneur like I am, like I don't have time to be doing all the stuff that Indeed can do for me. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring in one place so easy, literally so easy. Like it does the questions, it does the scheduling, it does the emails. All this thing is in one place, so I don't have to use Slack and email and all these other things in order to find the perfect person to help my business grow. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it actually gets. And listeners of this show get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/humanhope. Just go to Indeed.com/humanhope right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/humanhope. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. We are partnering with Lumen. What is Lumen? Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. That's right, a coach in your hands. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. Literally, I pick mine up, it's plugged in next to my bed, and in the morning I go, and I blow right into it. And it tells me how I need to eat throughout the day to have my metabolism do what it needs to do. Literally, it tailors all of the guidance for me. It'll tailor all of the guidance for you, your nutrition, your workouts, your sleep, and even stress management. All you got to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. This is crazy. Then Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements or your breath, okay? So you can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals to know exactly what's going on in your body. Your metabolism is your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into fuel that keeps you going. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve your metabolic health. So, if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/Carlos to get 15% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/Carlos for 15% off your purchase. Thank you so much, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. What can we do? What else can we do? We can practice making decisions without consulting our phone. Practice that. I don't know. How about writing down directions before you leave? Okay. I want to do a whole other podcast on kind of our internal guide, getting lost and finding our way. So I know that in this chapter in my book, I talk about GPS and I talk about how we've lost our ability to navigate. But I want to do a whole other podcast on that one, episode on that, because I actually think that's a whole other conversation. That getting lost and finding our way isn't just maps. It's our soul. People don't know how to get lost and find their way back home. That's a whole other conversation I won't have right now. But return to basics. Write down directions before you go. Try a new restaurant based on its atmosphere, not reviews. If it's a good vibe, yeah. Can I tell you guys something? Every restaurant you go to is going to have something crappy based on someone else's review. But you may love it. Some of you people love Whittaker. Some of you people actually love the restaurant Whittaker. And I can't fathom that some of you would have led me astray by leading me to Whittaker. And I went to Whittaker, and I'll be honest with you. I've never been to a Whittaker with a line longer than 2 people. In-N-Out always has a line wrapped around the block. I'm an In-N-Out evangelist, okay? Now, based on just the line itself, I was like, this ain't going to be a good burger. Can I say something? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I had a lot of people telling me, Whittaker sucks. In-N-Out's the best. Now, it's not a better burger than In-N-Out, but I finally went to Whittaker a couple years ago. I could go back, especially for their biscuits that they have in them, the honey biscuit things. Oh my gosh. But I was relying on external reviews that made me hate Whittaker. Now, it's not better than In-N-Out, according to me, but listen, don't trust me. Trust your gut, right? So get back to basic decision-making, small decisions you can make. What are decisions you can make today where you don't open your screen to make the decision? What is it? Listen, intuition is a powerful tool. And it takes our emotions and our previous experiences, and it puts them together. And I just think that we don't have enough of that anymore. So let me encourage you with something. The one thing I want you to do is I want you to practice this. So I want you to have a whole day, where you do not make one decision based on anything that you've seen off of a screen. That's going to a movie reviews. That's going to a restaurant. That's going on a walk out. If you want to go on a walk outside and it's 99 degrees, go on a freaking walk. Go. Just because it's hot outside doesn't mean you can't go on a walk. So get dressed, walk outside, and you're already dressed to go on the walk. But if you would have looked at your phone and your phone told you it was too hot outside, you wouldn't have even gotten dressed. You see what I'm saying? We trust our phone way too much when it comes to decision making. And I think we can get back to trusting our gut again. When is the last time you made a decision based purely on your gut? Ask yourself the question. When was it? When was the last time you're like, yeah, I just feel like doing it, so I'm going to go do it? That's what I want you to ask yourself. Told you this was going to be quick and to the point. Oh, that's the wrong button that I pushed. There it is. Trust your gut. It's there for a reason. Listen, Carlos Whittaker Podcast, Familia. I every once in a while, I throw you one of these like little quick hits. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Put the needle on the record and the drum beat goes like this. Oh, yeah. And listen, I'm going to be flying around the next few weeks, actually 10 days. I'm going to be in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to be in Ramona, California. I'm going to be in Bozeman, Montana. 10 days, I'm going to be a lot of places, a lot of airplanes. If you see I'm in your area, I have an Insta Familia meetup, please come. I would love for you to come and join me. I love you. Thanks for hanging out on another episode of the Carlos Whittaker Podcast.